Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so, so much for making it this morning, especially since I originally set the time for 2 a.m. That would have been interesting. Let's do some middle of the night yoga. Whee! It must have been the full moon. I'm blaming it on the full moon. Okay, so make sure that you guys get comfy. And please remember, you do not have to cross your legs. If it is more comfortable for you to extend through the legs as we do our breath, please do so. Just make sure you put a little padding underneath your knees. There we go. Okay. All righty. I'm gonna play a little bit. And if you want to do something that's a little bit different, switch your legs. If you have one leg that you normally fold to the inside, change it just to try it and see how it feels today. Gonna work those little brain cells a little bit this morning. So take a moment, let your hands come to rest, palms facing up. You guys, thank you all so much for being here this morning. So appreciate it. I hope those of you that are in Texas are staying cool. We've been hearing scary stories about how hot it's been. Yeah. So just take a moment and let's do a little shoulder shrug. Let's bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Little bit of side to side movement with the shoulders up. Just noticing how that feels today. And then gently allow the shoulders to drop. And then take a moment and I want you to allow the inner edges of the shoulder blades to squeeze together. And again, allow your head to come a little bit from side to side, just kind of checking in this morning. Seeing where we are, seeing if you've got some grumpy bits that you didn't know were there, let the shoulders relax. Next, I want you to take the shoulders and I want you to draw them up and then bring them down and forward. There we go. Oh, get that nice stretch going in between. This time, I want you to gently tuck your chin down towards your chest. Let the head come back. So just doing a slightly different rotation this time. Bring your head back up, let the shoulders relax. And now, as long as it feels good, I want you to take your hands, slide them behind. Go ahead. I'm going to bring it forward just so you can see. Just take one wrist to the other wrist. And then just gently, again, squeeze those shoulders together, but then also see if you can lengthen your arms. I want you to see if we can start working into this anterior deltoid area, top of here we go. And again, chin to the chest, chin back, chin to the chest, chin back. Making sure that it's comfortable. Just gently rolling in, and then when you get done, just do a little side to side motion. Extend through one side, extend through the other. Just gently finding yourself. Letting everything move. You can bring your hands to the tops of the knees and you can allow things to move in a circle a little bit through the trunk. Just kind of swaying back and forth, checking in. Just kind of make the movement that feels good for you. Think of this as organized fidgeting, right? We're just kind of checking in. What body bits feel good? Where might there be some stress? And then finally, once you get done with that, I want you to take your first two fingers, and again, I want you to find where your earlobe and your jaw meet. Take those two fingers right there, check in, see how we're doing in terms of sensitivity today, just to help clear a little bit of the brain fog. So all we're doing right here is just, I would say, gentle to medium pressure. Something where it feels good, where if there is tension, you're just kind of bringing awareness to it. If there is tension, now what I want us to do is we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a lion face. So we're going to begin by opening through the jaw wide, sticking the tongue out. And just kind of waking that up. And notice that after doing that a couple times, did the sensation in that spot decrease? From here, you're going to just very gently slide those two fingers up to the front of the earlobe so that now that you're on the bottom edge or the inferior edge of your cheekbone. And all we're doing is we're just giving this very large muscle, your masseter muscle, a chance to stretch. And then allow that to release. Open wide again, lion's pose with the face. Yeah. Just kind of notice if that helps a little bit. Coming up here to the temple, we're going to go ahead and take the piece that where it feels soft and then it feels hard right above the eyebrows, right at the eyebrows. And we're going to do this counterclockwise. So I want you then to gently bring those two fingers up. Slow, gentle stretch through the face. Just following the outline. So it's like we're just working the border of the skull. We tend to hold a lot of tension up here. Just allowing the fingers to slide. Very slow, gentle movement. Just releasing any tension. If you find a spot of tension, sometimes we have a little bit of tension on the upper edge of our cheekbones at the back, again towards the ear. Our port ears, they hold a lot of stress. And then gently complete the circle, drawing forward. Coming back to where you began and let it relax, let the hands come away. Take a moment to notice if it feels there's a little bit of difference of opening through the face. And for something completely different, because I just mentioned that ears tend to hold stress, I want you to take index finger and thumb. You're going to start at the curl up at the top, and I want you to just gently stretch your ears, you guys. And then move it back a little bit. You can come a little bit more towards the center and stretch. And stretch to the back. And then finally bring it round and stretch down. Just really opening everything. Okay. How does that feel, you guys? So from this place, we're going to start our breath. Okay. Now that we've kind of opened into everything, allow your hands to come back to rest, palms facing up. Allow your eyes to gently close. And just begin, before you change anything in your breath, feel your breath as you inhale. Feel the temperature and the quality of the breath. Does it feel soft, gentle, sharp? There is no right or wrong. You're just observing how the breath feels as it enters into your nasal cavity. And then feel it as it exhales through the nasal cavity. And again, without changing any form of your breath, still allowing your body to breathe you. Take a moment to notice how your body moves as you inhale and as you exhale. The next piece is now to begin to shift the breath. bringing it into that deep diaphragmatic breath where you start your inhale from the belly, letting it move to the solar plexus and then all the way through the heart and then to underneath the collarbone. And then as you exhale, you'll release it from underneath the collarbone, allowing it to draw down to the heart, the solar plexus, and then finally that low belly gently drawing in and up, just finding that gentle firing of the core muscles. And then again, deep inhale, find that expansiveness through the low belly. All the way up through the heart, all the way to below the collarbone. And then again, exhaling from the collarbone, all the way back down. And again, at the bottom, squeeze, activate through the core. And the exhale, let it relax. And again, deep inhale coming from the low belly. And as you do this, begin to connect in with the shift in your body as you inhale, how your body moves as you focus your breath. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, how your body moves as you exhale. And begin to see if you can connect into a rhythm through the inhale and the exhale. If it feels appropriate, please feel free as you're connecting into this breath to pause at the top of the breath for 1 to 2 counts. Feeling that space of silence, of pause. The visualization that I've always liked to use for myself as I'm focusing on this deep, full diaphragmatic breath is that as I'm inhaling, I feel the gentle waves come to lap over my feet. The water is warm, the sand is soft and moist. And then as I exhale, the waves gently recede. And I just simply follow the rhythm of the waves, the ebb and the flow, as I inhale and exhale. And take 2 more cycles of breath, feeling this inhale and exhale, this ebb and flow. And at the end of the second breath, just take the palms and place them over your heart. Okay, beautiful, you guys. Awesome, awesome. So from here, we're going to go ahead and now I want you to feel that vibration. See if you can put a joyful feeling to it, whether it's peace, whether it's gratitude, whether it's love, so that you can feel that reverberate through your heart as you sing the sound of ah, as you sing the sound of oh, and as you sing the sound of mm. And then on that 4th silent breath, please set your intent for what you'd like from your day, from your practice and your day, making it an I am statement. So when you're ready, taking a deep, full inhale, using that belly breath. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly release the hands. Allow them to come down by the side, and then really take a full deep inhale, bringing your arms out into a big breath of joy, allowing the palms to touch, and then exhale, bringing that all the way back down. Thumbs resting on the sternum at the heart point. Take another full deep inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, release your hands. Allow the corners of your mouth to curl up towards a smile. Eyes softly. Y'all, thank you so, so much. So we're going to start from a seated position. The movements that we make are going to be similar to the next step, okay? So please make sure that you're allowing the movements to feel good, you guys. I want everybody to be in the space of that cat stretch feeling. You know how when cats stretch in the morning, they get this huge grin on their face and everything feels really yummy? That's the way our stretching is supposed to feel. That's the way our yoga is supposed to feel. So, taking a block or two, I want you first to let the legs extend. And I guess I'm going to have to back up a little bit today. Okay, there we go. Hang on, I'm going to adjust it. It still doesn't want to show my feet. There we go. Okay, better. All right, so we've got our legs out. Again, if by sitting on your little cushion, knees feel like they're wanting to hyperflex, please put something underneath, whether it's a blanket or a little bolster, just something. So again, I want you to find a place of comfort, okay? So I want you to see, just take a moment to notice if it feels like you're sitting like a seed, like a little cashew, or does it feel like you're sitting a little bit more like a J, right? So it's like, where are we in terms of pelvic tilt? So what tends to happen, so I want you to place your hands on this front part of your pelvis, okay, your ilium. And I want you to rock back so that the lower part of your pelvis and your sacrum curl under you, okay? This is a posterior tilt to your pelvis. And then I want you to very gently, slowly roll that and press it so that now you're pushing your sits bones behind you and you're really kind of moving into an anterior tilt, a little bit of an anterior tilt. And just notice that. And notice how you might be feeling a little bit of compression through the low back, okay? And then I want you to take it so that it's something that feels neutral. So again, hands are still on the pelvis and it feels neutral, okay? So for those of us that have grumpy backs in the morning, this is something that you do very slowly in order to allow the fascia to start to follow you and have the creep. So one more time, and I'm gonna adjust it so that y'all can see me from the side this time. So all we're doing is just another variation of cat and cow. We're just doing it from a seated position. So again, hands are, right? I'm gonna bring my elbows forward just so you can see. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rock back. So now I'm rocking back more into the sacrum and I'm really trying to round this lower lumbar spine. So that's what it looks like. I'm way back and my pelvis is tilted up, right? So hands are now on the hips. You're going to very gently, very slowly begin to lengthen through the torso. The legs are nice and relaxed. And begin to feel how you get a neutral pelvis. And then you're going to take this just a little bit further forward. And I want you now to begin to tip this front pelvis down so the back side of the pelvis begins to tip back and up so that now you're working, can everybody see how much there's a big compression through the lower spine. Okay. And just notice how that feels. So we're doing the same movement that we do for cat and cow. And then you're going to gently release that and find neutral. Okay, so that's neutral. That's neutral for me. Everybody's neutral is going to look a little bit different. So it's really important that you feel that. So from here now, we're going to just very simply, with our feet flexed, just have our block in front of us. And all we're going to do is lengthen through the spine. So the hips are staying neutral. The pelvis is staying neutral. We're lengthening through here, through our trunk. And we're just coming forward, just a little bit. And breathe. And we're still flexing through our feet because we want our legs to be a little active. We don't want them to be mush. Okay? From here, what I want you to do is I want you to start with your right arm. You're going to place your forearm on the block. So adjust the block so that your forearm can come down. You're going to take this left hand, and I want you to take a deep inhale, and I want you to sweep so that you're gently turning towards the left. Okay? And again, you're only taking this as far as is comfortable. So as you're here breathing, I want you to take a moment to notice that as we made this movement, how is this right side of your trunk feeling? Is it mushy, or did you activate your trunk muscles? So as you exhale, I want you to bring it down. Again, find square and hang out here. It may be that now that you've done that, coming forward still with the neutral pelvis, you can come in a little bit more. And you're breathing, you're letting everything soften today. Beautiful, you guys. I want you to step it back a little bit more. Again, your right forearm is going to come down. But this time, as you swing this left arm up, I want you to pay attention. I want you to pay attention to this right side. And I want you just, remember when we went to the end of the breath and we squeezed. So I want you, as we make this twisting movement, to squeeze. Use these trunk muscles, please. So take that deep inhale. And if you need to, place your hands on the right side of the trunk and go, I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing, I'm squeezing, because part of this just might be intent. Your core muscles may be going, I don't get it. What is she talking about, right? So just do the best that you can. Keep squeezing, and then inhale, lengthen that left arm. Okay? And breathe here. So again, come back to that diaphragmatic breath, but this time I want you to stay active through the low core. So we're taking this a little bit more into Ujjayi breath. So you're going to soften the glottis just like we did last week. Do that little snoring noise. Find the activation through the core. And then as you exhale, gently, slowly, let it relax. Okay? And come back to a little bit of a wiggle wobble. All right? So we just really lengthened into that left side. Okay? And we're just going to, again, keeping the pelvis neutral. So I am pushing down through the sits bones, but rather than tipping through the pelvis, I'm allowing the pelvis to stay in neutral. And instead I'm lengthening through my trunk, feeling the shoulder blades relax, and I'm hinging from my hip bone. And just breathe. Let everything get soft. Beautiful, you guys. Very nice. Very, very nice. Good. And then we're going to go ahead, bring the block back. Now we get to do it on the other side. So this time, left hand is going to come on top of the block. This first time, I want you just to feel the movement. So if your core can squeeze on this side, that's great. If not, do the best you can. So left hand or right hand, take a deep inhale. Feel it open. Gaze follows the arm. Again, you're making sure that this opening feels good. It's something that feels delicious. It's something that feels both comfortable and stretchy at the same time. And then exhale, gently, slowly let it come back down. Again, let's come forward. Let's neutralize what we just did. So we're bringing our spine back to center, finding that length. Wow, you guys, people are starting to their trunks are starting to loosen up. Forward folds are deepening here a little bit. That's cool. Yahoo. All right, from here, again, let's back it up. Now this time, if you need to actually put your hands over there and go, come on, I need to have you activate, I need to have you squeeze, right? We're not used to this, our bodies are not used to this. So it may be that you've got both hands here. So you are activating, squeezing, activating, squeezing, activating, squeezing as you're turning towards the right, squeeze. Then as long as you can maintain the squeeze, inhale, lengthen into that right arm. Oh, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And again, we're looking for something that feels good. If it feels bitey, if it feels burning, if it feels like it's painful, sharp shooters, please don't do it. Exhale, gently, slowly bring it down. One last time, keeping the pelvis neutral, lengthening through the back of the spine. Gently allow yourself to come forward. Oh, pressing down through those sits bones. Creating lots of delicious space. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome, 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 awesome. Very lovely. Okay. One more cycle of breath. Now, gently bring yourself back up. Okay. Feet can either stay out or they can come in a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to just do a very gentle, since we did a lot of forward lengthening, right? And then we did twisting. Now we're going to balance that out with just a little bit of a back bend. Then again, we're coming from the front. We're not focusing on the compression. So all I'm doing is turning to the side so that y'all can see what we're going to do. You're going to come down to gentle fists if that's what's comfortable. And we're going to start here and just allow our spine to be long. And just breathe. Deep, full breath. And again, deep, full breath. Okay, from here, what I want you to do very gently is you're going to take the inner edges of the shoulder blades and I want you to gently squeeze them together. Opening to the front. Gaze can come up towards the ceiling. And then gently, slowly release that. Now, if this is too much for you to come down onto your hands, what I want you to do is you're going to take a block so that you're not having to reach quite as far. Does that make sense? So you can either come down so that palms are facing the floor, or you can bring your blocks and you can do it from here, okay? So all we're going to do here is we're going to start in move a little bit. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing I want you to do once you're set up is everybody set up and comfortable. Okay, good. So the first thing is I want you to squeeze through the inner edges of the shoulder blades. Find that opening. Then you're going to take your left leg and bend at the knee, press down through the foot. Take the right leg, bend at the knee, press down through the foot. Engage through your core. So as you exhale, I want you to take that low belly, draw it in. And then as you inhale, keep drawing in through the belly, lift up. Breathe. So all we're doing is reverse tabletop. And then exhale. Gently bend to the knees, or bend through the sits bones. Lengthen through the right leg, lengthen into the left leg. Release the arms. Turn them so that palms are facing forward, then take that deep inhale. As they come up, turn the palms so that they face you. Palms touch. Exhale. Bring the thumbs to the sternum at the heart point. Pause and breathe. I have my feet flexed so that we're in gentle activation through the legs. Release the hands and the arms. Roll through the shoulders. Roll the head and the neck a little bit. Make sure that everything is still soft, that you're not gripping or bracing through the upper torso. So you're just checking in again, making sure that everything still feels soft. Okay. And then again, hands are going to come back to the blocks or back to the floor. Take that deep inhale. As you exhale again, squeezing gently through the inner edges of the shoulder blades. Bend into the left knee, bend into the right knee. Draw in through that low belly so that you're really supporting. This time, squeeze through your glutes and lift. Gently bringing yourself up and into a reverse tabletop. Making sure that things are gentle, soft, and feel good. If from this place you feel comfortable, extend the right leg, extend the left leg, and now you've taken this into a reverse plank. Okay. That's optional. Then back into the knees. Exhale, gently lower into the sits bones, back down. Lengthen right leg, lengthen left leg. Release the arms. This time, inhale, I want you to swing both arms up into flexion overhead. There we go. Exhale. Float the arms down. So now we're just working a little bit in a circle. And then inhale, bring those arms up again. Gentle flexion through the feet. Exhale. Arms adduct down to the sides. One more time. Inhale. Let the palms touch. Or not touch, sorry, but let them face each other. And then roll it down. Roll the shoulders. Roll the head and the neck and just kind of check in. How are we feeling? Everybody doing okay with that? Yes? Okay. Thank you, those of you that have back issues, for taking care of yourselves. So here's the next part. We're now going to take this onto our knees. So those of you that know that your knees are grumpy, give yourself that extra padding. So please put a blanket underneath your knees. But what I invite you to do is make sure that it's there in a way, because what we're going to do is, oh, now I get to adjust again. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So padding from the knees. I'm just going to demo it so that this way everybody feels good. There we go. We've got the knees on the blanket. That's if your knees need it. If your knees don't, and they're okay, then you don't need to use it. All right? How's everybody doing? Are we good? Yes? Okay, good. So take a deep, full breath of joy. Deep inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands down to the heart. Allow the thumbs to rest at the sternum. Feeling the love. And then gently allowing it to release. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Very simple movements. We're going to start with stepping the left foot forward first. So hands to the hips. You're going to, just like we do when we're on our feet, you're going to shift your body weight a little bit more onto that right side. And you're going to step lightly that left foot forward. There we go, good. Now, here's what I want you to do. From here, you don't necessarily have to shift the entire pelvis down and forward, okay? You can do that if you want, if that feels good. But the other thing that you can do that's really gonna work this is that as you're here from this variation of lunge, I want you to begin to squeeze into this right thigh, or excuse me, right glute. And notice that as you squeeze into this right glute, all of a sudden you're stretching the very top, specifically of your rectus femoris. This is the top quadricep. And notice that, wow, I didn't have to do a big deep bend and put more pressure on my knee. I could stay fairly upright and squeeze, and feel a lot, okay? Hands come back to the hips, shift the body weight a little bit over to the right, and lightly step that left knee back. And just take a minute here and notice the difference. And usually what happens when we do this is that the right leg is like, oh my God, I love you. Thank you for not making me squeeze that glute anymore, right? So you get this nice little endorphin rush where it feels really good, okay? Thank you, those of you that are wanting extra balance and making sure that you've got your chair right here so that you're stable, okay? So here we go, next piece. I want you now to shift the body weight a little bit over to the left, and you're going to lightly step that right leg forward, okay? Those of you that want to play, feel free to press down and forward through the hip and just kind of notice that. If that's an uncomfortable place for you, then wherever you are, I invite you to squeeze deeply through this left hip now, and get to know your quadriceps. And the very top of your, actually, it's the very bottom of your iliopsoas. So if you're feeling this very high into the groin, welcome to your distal area of your iliopsoas. Yay, go team. All right, you guys, gently, slowly release that, okay? Little bit of body weight into that left side, and then gently bring that right leg back, okay? Now, if you're like me and I like to make a mess of my mat, we're gonna have to move the blocks. Here we go. And voila. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope, that still's not gonna be okay. And here we go again. All right, so coming back to the knees. This time we're gonna move into gate post. So again, you're gonna shift the body weight into that right foot, and you're going to slide. So here's what I did. I took my left leg, I brought the knee up, I'm on my toes, and now I'm going to slide it out to the side. There we go, beautiful. So here, we get to know our adductors a little bit. So I want you to squeeze just a little bit through the glutes so that it feels like the inner sides of your legs are gently drawing towards each other a little bit. That's the activation, okay? If your body says yes and you'd like to do more, you're gonna turn your left palm face up, inhale that right arm up, and then very gently slide laterally and gently open into that right side. And breathe. Deep, full breath. Similar to what we did before while we were seated. Good. One more cycle of breath. Keep using your core. Find out if you're still squeezing through your glutes or did everything go whoa and soften. And then inhale, bring it up. Sweep that arm down. Hands come back to the hips. Gently draw that right leg in or left leg in. Okay? Here we go. Shifting body weight now over to the left. Lengthen into that right leg. So again, as I do this, I draw up through the knee, come onto the toes, and just slide the foot out. Okay? Right palm up. Inhale, lengthen into the right arm. Beautiful, you guys. Gently roll laterally. So lateral flexion. Stretching and opening into that left side. And breathe. Deep, full breath. And then gently release. Inhale. Exhale, sweep that left arm down. Hands to the hips, squeeze through the glutes. Bring that right knee back in, okay? We have one more that we're gonna do from here. Again, you're gonna shift your body weight a little bit into the right leg. This time we're gonna allow the left leg to come forward again. Okay. So same thing, I want you to find that opening. We love the opening through the front of the thigh. As you're doing that, squeezing through the glute, I want you, this is going to be a twist coming from an upright position. So rather than bending forward and twisting, we're going to keep our hips square. We're going to take that right arm up, and we're going to allow this to come through the rib cage. So if you need to take a moment and keep that left hand on the left hip to make sure that it's staying safe, exhale, gently twist from the rib cage and breathe. Making sure that we're not putting any untoward pressure through. You are active gently through this right side of the trunk. You're still squeezing through the glutes. And if your muscles are starting to shake and you're starting to glow, go team. Gently release, inhale, sweep that right arm up and down, okay? Come back, very gently, step that left leg back. Take a moment here while you're here, as long as this feels appropriate. Hands can go to the low back and just feel the hips shift forward a little bit. Yumminess, yumminess. Beautiful, you guys. And then gently come out. Hands back to the hips. Okay, step, right foot forward. There we go. Okay, and again, just like we did before, get to know the front of the quadriceps. Squeeze through the glutes. Remembering, we're not clenching, we're just squeezing, right? Right hand now stays on that hip. We're going to look at twisting through the rib cage. Inhale, lengthen. Left arm up. Exhale. Gently turn yourself. Allow that left arm to come over. It's going to rest on top of the thigh. Breathe. Squeezing gently through this right side. Still squeezing into that left glute. Feeling the shoulders remain relaxed. They're not being asked anything right now, except to relax. And then gently release. Inhale. Sweep the arm all the way back and down. Okay. Shift the body weight over into that left side. Step back. Okay. All right. From here, I'm going to come off just so that you can see on the side. As long as that's possible for you to curl your toes under, and it may not be, okay? If you can, so I'm going to show two ways to do this. If you can curl your toes under, that's great. Hands are either going to come to the tops of the thighs, or they're going to come to your chair if your chair is available. If it's on the top of the thigh, step this left leg up, right leg up into standing. If you're looking at that going, in your dreams, sister, then I want you to come from the bottom, or excuse me, the top of the foot, the dorsal side of the foot. Hands are lightly on the seat of the chair. Step up, and stand, okay? I'm going to change our video camera really quickly. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So, all right, so now we're standing. Woohoo! Yay! Go team. How are we feeling, everybody? Back is feeling good? Yes. General grumpiness, are we okay? We've got our chairs. Life is good. Let me check the time. Okay, good. We're good, we're good. All right, you guys, so from here, we're gonna practice a little bit squeezing our glutes, because that's like our most favorite thing coming from a standing posture. But I want us to get comfortable. We're gonna do some gentle forward folds with our chair, okay? So I want you to get your feet about hip distance apart. We've got a gentle squeeze going through the feet. You want to be about 2 to 3 feet. Ha, 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 right? about 2 to 3 feet from the front legs of your chair. Take a deep inhale, big breath of joy. As you exhale, I want you to squeeze through the glute, gentle bend into the knees, and gently fold yourself forward. If coming forward with a flat back does not agree with your spine, please roll forward one vertebrae at a time. So what we're looking for here is your hands are resting on top of your thighs. You've got a gentle bend in your knees, and you are about parallel with the torso from the floor. And I want you to squeeze. As long as this is comfortable, I want you to lengthen into the left arm, lengthen into the right arm. If that is too long a lever for your body, bring your hands back to the tops of your thighs. What does that mean? It means that if you lengthen out through the arms and suddenly you have grumpy in the back, that's too much. Bring the hands back. From here, let the hands come to rest on top of the seat. As long as your body says yes, I want you to press down through your feet, lengthen the hips, and begin to gently allow yourself to fold forward. So your head is passing to the front of the seat of the chair, elbows are bent, and I want you just to take several cycles of breath here. Let your head and neck hang. Okay, I'm going to remove my right arm, and it's only so that you can see. While you're here with traction and gravity working for you for your head and your neck, I want you to tip your head into a gentle yes motion. A gentle no motion. And then feel neutral. Now, from here, hands are still resting on the seat. I want you to sidestep your feet so that they're just a little bit closer together, a little bit more to the in, so in line, hip to ankle. From here, I want you to spread into those left toes, grounding into that left foot. Squeeze through that left glute and gently lift the right toes. Let it hover so you can see that I'm just a couple inches above. If your body says yes, I'm pressing my palms onto the seat of the chair. If your body says yes, you can begin to straighten into that left leg, still squeezing through that glute, and lengthen that right leg back so that it is parallel to the floor. The toe is pointed. And you're breathing here. So all we're doing right now is just a little variation of Warrior 3. And as you're here, I want you to roll circular motions through that right ankle in both directions. Breathe deeply. And then gently, slowly lower that right leg and come back to being square. And again, release your glutes for a moment, bend back into those knees, let everything soften. Allow this to be a passive space of relaxation and softening, making sure that this feels good on your back, okay? So you do not have to come down this far, you guys. You can do this from the back of your chair as well, okay? If bending over that much is too much on your back, do it from the back of your chair so that you can stay upright. You can still work your balance. You can still work your legs. So please make sure that you're taking care. All right, so coming from here now, I want you to shift your body weight into that right leg. Squeeze into that glute, knowing that you're gonna have one side where squeezing is a little bit easier than the other. That's totally normal. Rounding into that right side, get very light with your left, let the toes hover. And then as long as you're comfortable, you're gonna begin to kick back with that left leg. Allow the leg to get parallel, gentle pointing through the toes. Making sure that the pelvis is still moving forward in line with the spine. Draw a gentle circle with this left ankle. Both directions, squeezing into those right glutes. Okay. It's really, we've got one side typically that doesn't like to work quite as much as the other side. And then very gently, very slowly exhale. Bring the leg very carefully back down. And again, gentle bend back into the knees. If it feels appropriate, you can allow your hands to come down to the floor. If it doesn't, allow them to stay. If that's too much length at any time, come back to a standing place and just let your body soften from Tadasana, from mountain pose. So be very careful with your body. Love your body. You have crafted your body to where it is. So if there is a desire to make change, you need to lovingly craft it and know that it may take some time. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and do the other leg. This time we're going to go ahead and do an abductive move. So we're going to bring the leg out to the side. So again, from here, squeeze into this left glute. Please remember, you guys, if this is too much for ankles, always put padding underneath the heel so that you are limiting the angle through the ankle bone. So we're squeezing through this right side, spreading wide through those right toes, hovering, or excuse me, through those left toes. My bad. So this is the left side. So we're squeezing through the left glutes, pressing down into that left side. Right toes are hovering. And then gently pointing through the toes. I want you to see if you can bring a big abductive move out to the side. Squeeze those glutes, you guys. Your leg will actually feel lighter if you squeeze. Gently, slowly lower. Woo, that was a big move. Bend into the knees, let everything relax. Let it soften. Okay, and now we're going to do the other side. Here we go. This time, we're going to squeeze through the glutes on the right leg. Get very strong. Hover with the left. Gently lengthen that leg out to the side. Big abductive movement. Breathe. Beautiful, you guys. Awesome. Squeeze into those glutes, both of those glutes, and gently slower release. Bring it down. Okay. To come up, hands are going to come back to the tops of the thighs. Squeeze into those glutes gently, slowly bring yourself up, ever so slowly. We spent time, a lot of time. So let everything rearrange, top to bottom. Breathe. Hands on the hips. Let the arms come down by the side. Deep, full breath of joy. Arms out, up. Gaze follows. Palms touch. Thumbs rest at the sternum and the heart point. Breathe. Notice if you're planting more weight to one leg or the other. See if you can balance it. Gently release. Okay, we're going to do one more thing with the chair, and we're going to sit in it. Turn it so that the back is down to you. So we've really been working this whole part of our hips, okay? We're gonna do one more. We've just been doing it from different positions in gravity. So again, let me turn to this side. We're going to start by grounding into the right leg, or left leg, excuse me. Start by grounding into the left leg. Squeeze. Let the hands rest on the back of the chair. You're going to take a very large step back. So again, we're working our balance so that we have this really lovely standing lunge. So very high lunge. If possible, here's what I want you to do. Let your hands come to the hips. Find that balance. And Ball of the foot is on the mat, heel is off. What I want you to do is draw, not only squeezing through the glutes, but I want you to also activate those adductor muscles so that you are drawing the legs together so that even though they're separate, they feel like they are coming together. Breathe here. So this is just a very gentle isometric. If your body says yes, what you're going to do is begin to bend into that right leg. Only if your body says yes. And it's not a big movement. And you are squeezing. Your leg may be shaking, and that's fine. Gently, slowly release. Let the hands come back to the top. Lightly step yourself up. And breathe. Beautiful, you guys. Next side. Okay. So again, this time I want you to squeeze through that right glute. Get light with the left leg and lightly step it back. Okay? So we're just practicing a lunge variation. Ball of the foot is on the mat on that left leg, as is. The heel is lifted. If it feels appropriate, hands release so that we're working a little bit into balance. Squeezing through the glute. Again, on this side, I want you to see if you can begin to feel those adductor muscles work as you draw the legs back towards each other. This is the upper thighs. Breathe. If your body says, you know, I'd like to do a little bit more, gently begin to bend into this left knee. Hands can always come to the back of the chair. This is just simply another way to work balance. Really feel everything isolate, everything begin to wake up, right? So that's adductors, that's quadriceps, hamstrings are working, everything is working, you guys. Glutes are working, core is strong. And then gently, slowly release. Lengthen that leg, hands come to the back of the chair, lightly step yourself up. Feel that beautiful flush, you guys. Blood moving through the system. Now we're going to sit down. Go team. That's a nice thing about this. By the time we finally sit down, your body's like, I love you. Thank you so much for letting me sit down. Okay. So from here, I want us to come. I'm going to show, well, let me change the chair just so that you guys can see. Please remember that when we sit on our chairs, we're sitting on just the very edge. There's lots of space between the back and us. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just very simply start with this left leg. I want you to bring it up and over and across. Okay? And just breathe. If this is too much torque for the knee, please take your fingers, interlace them, and place them underneath the knee so that you can cradle it. Okay? So there's no stress. Breathe. So again, our hips are fairly neutral. This is a little difficult because the chair seat is not flat, it's actually tipped a little bit. That's why we're taking just the edge. So coming from this very neutral place, as long as it feels okay, gently, slowly, ever so slowly, begin to hinge. So again, you're creating length through the back of the spine. And breathe. Feel your body begin to soften. Feel your body begin to ease. Beautiful, you guys. That's awesome. Looks great. Notice your heartbeat. Because we did do a little bit more intensity this morning, your heart rate might be a little bit higher, which is fine, it's good. But just feel it. And then gently, slowly Ease your torso back to an upright position. Take your left hand underneath that kneecap, right hand underneath the ankle, and gently, slowly bring the leg back down. Lots of loving kindness. And now, go ahead. If you need a little assist to bring that right knee up, hands can come underneath and you can bring it up and cross it over. Same thing goes on the side. If sitting like this is too much torque for your knee, please place your hands underneath, interlace your fingers, and gently cradle your leg. Cradle your knee. Love your knee. And just notice where we are, how it feels. And if it starts to ease and feel good, just gently begin to hinge the torso forward so that you can begin to feel that really yummy stretch coming back through gluteus maximus into the low back. Oh, yummy. You might also feel it around the hip joint as well. That's normal. Guys, these are all good places. You're just looking for that, again, that cat-like yummy stretch. It's funny, it's so easy to find words for things that don't feel good, but then to find lively words for things that do feel good, it's a little bit more challenging. And then very gently, slowly release. Gently drawing yourself back. Again, you're going to take that right hand underneath the right knee, left hand underneath the left on the foot, and gently draw it down. Okay, you guys, guess what? We get to come down onto our mats. So gently coming down, I'm going to change our camera angle. All right, you guys, so very gently, very slowly. Come on down. Please grab a block. Actually, grab 2 blocks if you have 2 blocks. We have time to do a little bit of core, and I would like us to do that. So you're going to gently roll yourself back all the way down. You're going to take your block, narrow side, place it in between the knees, and then bring the knees back. Okay? And just take a moment here and breathe. So you've got the block in between your knees, so it's asking you to be just that little bit of activated through the legs, just enough so that you can hold your block in place. And while you're here, before we do anything more, I want you to take a moment, and as you inhale, I want you to feel the inhale pull into a lower lumbar curve. And then as you exhale, drawing back in, I want you to feel that exhale, relax that lower lumbar curve. So we're going to do this twice more. Gently holding onto the block so that every inhale draws your body into a gentle lumbar curve, and every exhale gently relaxes that lumbar curve. One more time. And exhale. Okay. All right, you guys. So from here, second block, you're going to take it in between your hands. You can take, I'd like you to take it, this one on the wide side. Okay. Arms are, this is going to be fun, you guys. So what you're going to do is, the first thing I want you to do is, you've got the block resting in your hands, and I want you to draw forward through your shoulders. You're protracting your shoulders. You're drawing them forward. And then what I want you to do is take those shoulder blades, so your arms are still straight, you're still working. I want you to Reground those shoulders into the mat. And then even though you're holding onto the block, I want you to take, and it's going to be more of a feeling than anything else. It's not going to be a big movement. I want you to take a moment and take those inner edges of the shoulder blades and gently squeeze them. And notice how much just doing that little teeny tiny movement is making your upper torso work. And then let it relax. Breathe here. Still holding the block up. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to inhale. And as you exhale, drawing in through the core, you're going to gently, slowly hug the muscle to the bone through the biceps and triceps. And slowly as you can on the exhale, bring your arms and the block up, moving up over your head. Very gently, very slowly. Inhale, and you don't touch the floor. So you're still holding, arms are up, moving towards over your head. It doesn't have to be a full extension. And now with the next exhale, drawing in through the core, just as slowly. Draw the block back so that again, you're at 90 degrees. Beautiful, you guys, it looks awesome. Okay, you're still gently hugging the block in between your legs. This time what we're gonna do is you're gonna get to work your core. Wow, we love it. So I want you to squeeze into each side while you're here. So take a moment, squeeze into that left side. Let it relax. Squeeze into that right side. Let it relax. Notice if you have one side that's easier for you to connect into than the other. So the first movement we're going to make through the rib cage is we're going to squeeze into that right side of the glute. And as you exhale, you're gently going to roll your upper torso over towards your right. And you're squeezing into that right side of the trunk. You're going to end that movement about 6 inches above the mat. And you're going to pause here. And I want you to take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you're still going to squeeze and coming from the upper torso, from the rib cage, gently bring that block back to 90 degrees. Pause. Take a deep inhale. Fill that low belly, and as you exhale, gently, slowly use your entire exhale. Bring the arms up over the head. And again, you're going to pause about 6 inches above the mat. Oh, feel things working. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze, and very gently, very slowly. Bring yourself back, 90 degrees. Pause. All right, now I want you to find the core muscles on the left side. Take a deep inhale. Squeeze through those core muscles on the left side. Exhale. Gently take the upper torso and roll yourself over to the left. Pausing about 6 inches above. Take a deep inhale. Squeeze through that left side. Exhale, gently, slowly. Bring yourself back up. Pause. One more time, deep inhale. Exhale. Block slowly comes up over the head. Pause before you touch the ground. Deep inhale. Exhale. Bend into the elbows. Release the block. Draw the knees high. Release the block. Okay. From here, take a moment. Draw the knees high into the chest. Give yourself a really big hug. Apanasana. Gently roll a little bit from side to side if that feels yummy. When you're ready, I want you to continue to hold on to this right leg, and I want you to let the left leg either bend at the knee, if that's what feels appropriate for your back, or you can allow that left leg to extend. From here, you're going to bring your right leg out just a little bit so that it comes to the outer edge of your trunk. Interlace your fingers. And as long as it feels good, it's a gentle squeeze, bringing the knee towards the armpit, very gently. Again, we're looking for that delicious cat stretch. Long and slow. Beginning to let everything relax. Okay. From here, gently flex into that right foot. Right hand is going to slide up the inside, come across, and gently moving ourselves into half blissful baby. So, Ardha Ananda Balasana. And breathe. One more cycle of breath. All right, and then from here, what I want you to do, this is your left hand. You're going to bring it underneath your right hand. Hold on to the outside of that right knee. Release the right hand. And now you're going to gently roll that right leg across. The back of your pelvis is still grounding into the mat. And I want you to move this right leg over towards the left. Back of the pelvis still grounded until you can begin to feel just some gentle opening through either down by your ischial-tuberosity or your sits bones. You might feel this around the greater trochanter, so around the hip, the head of the hip, or you might feel this in through the glutes. Everybody's going to have a different place. I want you to interlace your fingers over the outside of that right knee. So again, this is going to be something that's isometric. We're not trying to make a range of motion. I want you to squeeze that right glute and gently press that right knee into your hands. So just squeeze. Feel it open. And you're doing this in a loving, gentle way. This should feel good. Those of you that are recuperating backs, be very mindful of the information your body is giving you. Gently let that relax. One last time, bring the knee back to center. Interlace the hands still over, just below the kneecap. If that's too much, please always take from behind. You guys know your bodies. And gentle stretch. And let it release and gently come down. And just take a moment to notice how that feels grounded into the mat. If that's too much, always bend the knees, you guys. All right, moving into the second side. Bend into that left leg. Interlace the fingers just below the kneecap. You're going to gently take this left leg out just a little bit so that it comes to the outside edge of your trunk. And draw the knee in towards you, in towards the armpit. Breathe, making sure that this is a sensation that feels really good. Something delicious and yummy Sometimes delicious and yummy can almost feel like a little itchy, right? Breathe. And then from here, I want you to flex into the sole of that left foot. Bring that leg up. Left hand is going to slide to the inner edge. Come across the sole of the foot. Again, moving into half blissful baby on this side. Now we're just breathing, allowing everything to open, to find its way. And then from here, I want you to take the right hand this side. Bring it underneath the left arm so that it can come to wrap around the outside of that left leg. Release the left arm. Bring it also to the outside. And again, you're very gently, very slowly going to bring this left leg across your torso, moving towards the right. And I want you to take this only as far as when you begin to feel a nice stretch. And again, it can be in several different locations. You might feel this down low by your sits bones. You might feel this, sorry, I got a fly, through the glutes, and you might feel this around the greater trochanter. Okay. So once you're there and you've got that nice little stretch, you're going to interlace your fingers. And just as we did on the other side, I want you to squeeze through this left glute, squeeze the lateral side of the knee in the hands. It's not moving. We're just asking for things to wake up. And this has got to be a place that feels good. This is not a place to push into something that's uncomfortable. So squeeze, waking your body up. If your leg starts to shake, that's great, as long as it feels good. Just waking up. And keep breathing. Gently release. Fingers are still interlaced. They can either stay beneath the knee or they can come underneath the knee. Please make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Draw that knee in towards your armpit one more time. And then gently allow it to release. Float yourself into your final Savasana. Arms down by the side, eyes gently closed. Place bolsters, blankets underneath the knees, over your torso, eye bags, whatever you need to get comfortable. Let your eyes close and begin to just again come back into that space of ebb and flow, feeling the difference in your body now versus when you started, making sure that you're in a place of deep comfort so that your body can simply sink into the mat, sink into relaxation and deep breath. Take a moment to scan and observe. Take a moment to notice how the body feels right now. When you're ready, you can allow your breath to release so that you come back to your body breathing you. Very gently, very slowly, begin to find your way back. Start with your fingers and toes, hands and feet, and allow them to make gentle movements, gentle circles, and then allow that awareness to move in through the body and back into your breath, taking a full deep inhale and exhale through your nose. If it feels appropriate, use that breath to bring your arms up over your head and stretch. Fingers to toes, bones to skin. Then one more time, gently draw the knees high into the chest. Give yourself one last hug. Oh, feel that really yummy movement. And then when you're ready, roll over onto your side, pressing yourself back into a seated position, palms touching, thumb on the sternum at the heart center. Feeling the space in your body, feeling the space in your heart, and feeling the space in your mind. Thank you so much, you guys, for allowing me to be part of your practice today. I honor the divine in you that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste. May the blessings be.